I don't know about you, but this year has been crazy. It has been one of the biggest productivity killers in I think my entire life. I have had more chaos, more distraction, more confusion, more delay, more disruption than I think I've ever faced in my entire life. And I don't think it's because of the amplitude of it, the severity of it, the intensity of it. I don't think it's intensity that's there. I mean, there is intensity, right? The whole world is shut down at times. There's a lot of negativity being pumped out by the media. You go on social media, maybe people you know are pumping out negativity. Like, it's tough. It's not easy for anyone right now. I think the amplitude is there. It's intense. But the frequency and the consistency that has been just negativity pumped at us as people on a global scale, I have never experienced anything like that in my entire life. It is so hard right now to focus on productive things. It is so hard right now to think in terms of what should I be doing to move forward. If you are somebody who creates content, if you want to be a thought leader or a leader of other people, or just lead people in thoughts or opinions or frameworks, I believe that action is the key to all of this. And it's going to be on you to ensure you don't get distracted. It's going to be on you to ensure you continue to push forward and make things happen in your life. I've got a couple ideas here of things that I'm focused on in my life to continue to cut through the clutter, cut through the BS, and get into action to actually create something sustainable in the world. Because eventually, the world will get back to normal. Maybe not normal of what it was before, but it will get back to a new normal. And when the world does that, I want to be ready, I want to be prepared, and I want you to be ready and you to be prepared for what's coming for all of us in this new reality. So the difference is going to be people that sit around confused, surrendering to the chaos, not getting things accomplished, not setting up their lives for the future, versus people who take action, who implement things, who put down foundations for when the world opens back up to be able to take advantage of that for the good of yourself and the good of the people that depend on you or that you can lead towards something better. So I want to talk a little bit about creation, production, organization, and leverage in this video. So the first thing I want to talk with you about is creation. Now, most people, when I say creation, they immediately think in terms of the created asset or the way the thing that they produce will be displayed. So they think of like video, audio, music, a stage performance, something like that, a talk you're going to give. And while that is part of the creation process, that's more about production. That's more about how you're going to capture it, the container that you put your thoughts and ideas, your heart and mind into. What I want to talk about in creation today is, what are you going to create that helps give value to other people? Value creation is key to you laying a good foundation for when the world gets back to its new normal. What is it in your heart and your mind that you have to communicate to other people that is a value add to their lives? Often one of the easiest ways to do this is to look at problems that people are facing and find ways, creative ways especially, there's that word creation again, creative ways to solve that problem so you can speak to that. So if you see people that have a certain issue, for example, here at Personality Hacker, we talk to people that want to understand themselves. It's a little bit of an esoteric problem. It's a problem of, how do I understand who I am, how I'm wired, how my brain works in order to have a better career, have better relationships, just move through the world owning myself with more sovereignty, more self-ownership, and being more creative like what we're talking about today. So that's, in our business, that's what I focus on, the problems that different personality types face. And we speak to those problems and help them overcome those challenges in their lives. That's how we create in the world. That's the value add we give. So what is it that you do? What is it that you create? What is it that you have a perspective on, a heart for? Something you can help people. You talk to me and you find out I've got this problem or challenge. You can actually help me make real sustainable actions and changes in my life. So I want to encourage you, make a list of some of the challenges you've overcome in your life. I think that's a great way to start. When you're thinking about creating content, creating something in the world, laying a good foundation for yourself for the future, Think in terms of how can you add value by helping people overcome similar challenges that you've overcome. Again, a great way to do this is make a list. If you list out those challenges, the challenge you overcame, and then how you actually overcame it, this can give you great insight into what your message is going to be. Often, the messes of our lives, the things that we've struggled through, the things that have not been easy for us, that we've still had to figure out, are deep wells, deep sources of amazing understanding of how to overcome those things. And if you can speak to that for somebody, if you can help somebody understand, here's the challenge you're having, here's how I overcame it. I can even break it down for you. This might be what you tell somebody. I can break it down for you, show you step by step how to overcome this challenge in your life. That is creating a ton of value for another person. You probably have many of these in your life. It's probably not just one aspect. It's not just one challenge you've overcome. You, through the course of your life, have probably overcome many challenges. So when we talk about creation, one of the foundational elements of that is thinking in terms of how do you add value. Now, that's an easy way to do it. There's another way to do it, which is through entertainment. You can add value through entertaining. Maybe it's a piece of music, art, a painting, photography, video. There is value add in just entertaining people. And I would challenge you though, as you entertain, have a voice, have a unique voice, not something that's tied into social media or the mainstream media or what your friends think, but have a unique voice and expression as you entertain, and the value of what you create will be 10x what you'll do if you're just a general, sketch comedy writer, just for kicks and giggles. That can be fun too. That can be entertaining and engaging. But what if you have a voice, something that you can say through what you're creating in entertainment as well? So these are some ideas on the creation front. As we move into production, organization, and leverage, I want you to remember that it all starts with what you bring to the table, the unique voice that you bring to create something in the world that actually benefits other people. So as we talk about our next piece, which is production, I want to draw a distinction here between polish and professionalism. I see a lot of people focus more on polish, or not focus on polish sometimes, than I do professionalism. In our internet world, it's my belief, my personal opinion, that if you've got a great message and you're professional, the polish of how you capture that is not as important as the professionalism of how you deliver that. So what do I mean by this? Well, we see a lot of polish on Instagram, as an example. A lot of people, when they take photos of themselves or other things, they use filters, they use angles, they use a lot of things to polish up that image to make it look just perfect, right? Even if that image doesn't really say much, there's no communication there, they're trying to polish it up. And I think this can be really powerful, right? Polish can be really good. I even see people on YouTube videos that have amazing cameras, amazing lighting, amazing sound, and then in the middle of their video, it's like unprofessional in how they started. They might have an amazing setup with all the right filters, all the right camera angles, and it looks great. The polish is there, and they're shooting in their bedroom with dirty laundry behind them. And they start the video out going, hey guys, so I'm gonna talk about something around, and they are fumbling to get started. They're lacking professionalism. So if you have to determine if you're gonna focus on polish or professionalism, both are good, but focus on professionalism first. If you've already done the work of creation, thinking in terms of what you're gonna say, something to add value to people's lives, problems you can help them solve, and then you can think in terms of how am I gonna communicate this effectively? Professionally, transitions are professional, like make sure your transitions are professional, you start strong. You're talking to one person. Most people don't watch videos, YouTube videos, in big groups, right? It's not like you're speaking to an audience in a movie theater. So why does everyone start out their YouTube videos, hey guys? You're not talking to hey guys. You're talking to one person, usually sitting on their phone by themselves with headphones in, watching your video. Or a podcast. Most people are jogging, they're listening to your podcast by themselves in their car on a commute, or jogging, or working out, or doing the dishes. You're speaking to one person. So when I talk about professionalism, think in terms of how someone on the other side is engaged with the things that you're creating and producing. Think in terms of being prepared, having something to say, saying it clearly, focusing on the transitions, and making sure that it feels like they're being taken along. Here's what it is. It's ensuring they don't have to think about all the things that you're thinking about in production. They're not thinking in terms of, ooh, that was a bad transition. Ooh, are they going to get to the point? Oh, what's going on here? Don't make your viewer, your listener, the person that's engaging with your content or your reader have to think in terms of all the things around it. It doesn't have to be polished as long as it's professional. So as we talk about our third step, which is organization, this is going to lay a foundation for you to take advantage of the time when the world gets back to the quote new normal. There's two parts to this. The first is clearing out all the old clutter and old business. And the next is planning for what you're going to do with new business, like the new things you're going to do in your life. So first, think in terms of what you can clear out, simplify, and reduce. Are there old tasks that are unfinished? Do you have old files on your computer or on your phone? Do you have unprocessed emails to get through? Do you have old clothes in your closet? Maybe you've got boxes that are unpacked or need to be sorted through in your studio, your office, whatever the space is that you're using. Now is a great time, maybe while you're stuck at home anyway, to begin to organize and reduce and eliminate things that are a burden to you. They're a psychic or emotional burden to you. This is something I'm doing in my life right now. I'm clearing out the clutter, I'm getting streamlined, I'm simplifying, and I'm organizing. This allows me to be more nimble as we move forward. This will allow you to be more nimble. If you have less things to carry along, less physical things, emotional things, psychological things, if you have less of that to carry with you, you'll be able to adapt and pivot and be responsive to anything that comes in the near future. The second piece of this is being proactive in your organization. So organizing yourself to take advantage of opportunities now and also when the world, quote, gets back to the new normal, right? So what can you organize as a to-do list for things you can do right now? We talk about creating, we talk about laying down, content for the future, but also what are the actions that you can take when things open back up, when life gets back to a little bit more normal? If you have a list and an action plan for that, if you're organized, you'll be able to take advantage of the world when it presents opportunities to you. So the principle here is to get real lean, real streamlined, and be able to be responsive to any opportunities that come. And then plan for opportunities when they come. For example, in our business, we know that when the world gets, quote unquote, back to the new normal, live events are going to be desired by everyone. People are going to want to come out of their homes, get out from behind their Zoom meetings and cameras, get out of their houses and go connect with people in real life. And so I'm planning a lot of live events in the near future and whenever that future manifests itself. So I'm taking the time right now to plan what would a live event look like? What would we do if we had a group of people in a live format? What would we produce? How would that look? I'm starting to lay the groundwork now for the moment things open back up to be able to take advantage of that going forward. So what is it in your business, in your creations, in your life that you can do to start laying the groundwork for what's coming down the road? As we talk about the final piece, which is leverage, how are you going to leverage your creations to create value for yourself? I think a lot about this because I see a lot of creators online creating maybe really great stuff. They've got a unique voice, they're solving problems or creating entertainment that's valuable. They're focused on production over polish, which is excellent, right? They've got the professionalism down over the polish. They have a plan for where they want to go and what they want to create, but they're unleveraged in that content. They're just throwing a bunch of free podcasts or videos, exploring a topic, and they don't really have a plan for how that's going to return value back to them. They have, instead of a plan, they have a hope or a wish or a desire for value exchange. Hopefully, maybe if I put this out there, someone will discover me and put me on stage or put me on their platform or hire me to do this thing. But I would encourage you not to wait to be discovered or wait for someone to stumble upon your creations. Think in terms of when you're creating, what can you leverage right now? So obviously an easy way to look at this would be like YouTube videos with ad revenue, right? A lot of creators will create a video, put it on YouTube, get the ad revenue. That's a very direct way to see value exchange. You create something, put it on, get ad revenue. And there's probably other ways you could think in terms of this. There's maybe a digital course, audio, video course, and or an ebook or some kind of writing you could sell online. Remember we talked about creating and listing those challenges you've overcome in your life. Well, maybe you could create a course or write a book and publish it through an online publishing system, and you get revenue directly from people that purchase that and get value back from them. You're adding value to their lives by teaching them how to solve this problem, communicating to them how to solve this problem, and they're returning value back to you in the form of money, in the form of value exchange. Think in terms of how you can take what you're doing and have a value exchange for it. Don't just have a wish and a prayer. And I think if you can focus on this, you can now turn your creations into something that's beneficial to you. It will also help you think of those other things too. If you have to think in terms of leveraging, not just wishing, praying, or hoping, think in terms of leveraging what you do, it's going to focus you on having better creations, better voice, better problem solving. You're going to focus on professionalism of production. When you're doing production, you're going to focus on the professionalism element, probably polish too, but professionalism first. And then you're also going to focus on organizing yourself, making sure you've got things organized, what you're going to say, going into the future, maybe a series you're going to create. You're going to be organized around that too. And you're going to be more motivated to cut through the clutter so you'll be more nimble and responsive to the creations you want to bring to the world. So this idea of leverage focuses you a lot on how you're going to get the value exchange to connect. You also will probably have to learn things like marketing, communications, sales, negotiation. Like there's so much you get to learn when you're thinking about leverage going forward. So I would encourage you, as you're thinking about creating, how will you leverage this now and in the future? And sometimes it's not just monetary leverage for now. Sometimes it's leveraging what you're doing, maybe for opportunities to network with other people. That's another form of leverage, right? There's a calling card. I see some people on YouTube that interview other people. They're just a person who is excited about a topic. So they reach out to experts in the field. They interview those experts, and now they're building a network with experts in the field of the subject matter they want to talk about. What a great strategy to leverage what you're doing to connect with people that are doing good work in the field that you want to be doing work in. Another opportunity would be to build a resume. Maybe you don't want to make money directly from your creations. Maybe you're not interested in building a network, although that can be good for a future job, but maybe it's building up assets showcasing what you're capable of. So when the world gets back to its new normal, everything opens back up in one way or another, and a dream job opportunity comes from you, you will be able to take advantage of it. That's another form of leveraging what you're doing. So it's kind of like what Stephen Covey talks about in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Start with the end in mind. Leverage is about how am I going to leverage what I'm doing down the road, and that informs what I do now. Most people are not going to take action in their lives right now to build for their future. Most people are going to wait to see what other people do first, or wait for leadership, someone in their life to come and tell them what to do. The media, social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, somebody else to come into their life and say, here's the action you need to take, but not you. You're going to be that rare person who takes action by creating, producing, organizing, and leveraging your creations in the world. And by doing this, you're going to set yourself up for when the world opens up to the new normal. You're going to cut through the clutter, cut through the negativity, be empowered, and have something to show for this time period when the entire world has been in chaos. You can take action. You can take leadership. You can begin to create, produce, organize, and leverage yourself now for the future world that's coming. And it's going to come fast, and you're going to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that are there. So I'm very encouraged for you. Joel Mark Witt, Personality Hacker. Talk to you in the next video.